Emotions are useful. They're healthy even. There's a bit of a thing these days that by feeling emotions, then we're struggling with our mental health. And that might be the case. We all do it at some point. But emotions are useful. Our brains are built to look out for signs of danger. We don't in this country have predatory animals that we need to watch out for because they're a threat to our life. But there's so many things that our brains can get caught up in. And once we get caught up in them, it's like we get stuck to these sticky thoughts, and it's compelling, and we can keep going with it. So it's about sort of cutting in and hijacking that somehow. Our emotions are all linked up with our thoughts and beliefs, and those are things we can do something about. We can learn how to work with our emotions. And the key starting point is building awareness. By checking out what's going on, by being curious, we can learn to notice when our emotions are taking the lead. Because it's the difference between our emotions running us and us being us in our best possible way, which is different on different days, and learning that emotions are just part and parcel of our experience in life. Curiosity is like a superpower to me. I just think it's wonderful. And by getting curious about what we're feeling, we just create this more space for us to choose. So if you just take a moment to think about perhaps how you feel when you're challenged by somebody, or if you're asked to speak in front of the class, or when it comes to sitting a test at school, notice what happens in you. I noticed I don't like doing tests or exams at all. And I noticed when I was saying that my breath went a bit shorter. There's always signs in our body that are linked to our emotions and our thoughts about something. By being curious and seeing our emotions as information, we put ourselves in this place of control. So if you imagine you have this sphere, that's you, that's where you have control over yourself, your actions, all that. And everything outside it you can interact with, but you don't have control over it. But by being in our own space and coming back to ourselves, we increase the control and the power that we have in life. It's also really useful for us to take the judgment out. There's no such thing as a negative emotion. They are just emotions. Yes, being with some of them is really uncomfortable. So some people will find anger very uncomfortable. Some people find joy a very uncomfortable place to be. But then none of them are negative. And it's not about fighting how we feel. Because if we try and fight it, then we're going to bottle it up, and actually it's going to fizz away and become more powerful. And also we're denying something of ourselves. We're denying an experience we're having in life. There's also no shame in feeling stuff. We all feel stuff. And no one has this handled completely. We're all humans and we're all doing our best. Even someone in their 90s who's been working on this for years, creating this space from being aware of how they feel, talking about it, all those things, it's still a challenge and a struggle. It just is. And you have an incredible amount of resources within yourself to find your way with this, step by step, including asking for help.